Hello, and if you can believe it, it is once again Wednesday, and that means it's time for another round of Touhou Project with Dr. Nyri A. Bakkalian. If you would like to introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to finally be back.
He,
We had to take a little bit of a hiatus a week ago, owing to a variety of things, including, oh, Zoe, thank you. Of course, dear. So we had to take a bit of a hiatus because, among other things, I was very ill. Apparently, that cold that's getting everyone cold, not COVID, cold, got me. And wouldn't you know it, I learned the hard way that, yeah, I guess I have made voice training progress because having a cold knocked me all the way back to the beginning and then some. So it's a pleasure to be seen and to be heard.
And then I would like to quickly note, viewers, once again, I am going to ask you to help me with volume adjustment on the fly here because last time, my most recent stream was Puppet Motel, which was running in Windows 95, and that required me to do a lot of specialized audio things, so numerous elements of balance may be off once again. Continue.
To do my usual spiel, I am Dr. Nyri A. Bakkalian, pronouns she, her. I am a historian at Japan, my doctorate, and my generalized anxiety disorder diagnosis both come from the University of Pittsburgh. And we are here to help elevate and inform your appreciation of the popular media that you consume that is Japanese history and culture related, in this case, the Touhou series. And this title is called Double Dealing Character.
Yep.
So let's see how it is.
Touhou Kishinjo. Touhou Kishinjo squiggly line double dealing character. We will be looking at the title in a second, which will give you the exact.
Yes. Happy first day of spring, as Zoe says to all Shintoists.
I guess all the stuff I can discuss about this game and its nature, I can do on the fly here. So let me get it fired up. We should get feed in a second here. Yes, good. Looks like we have it. And let's get sound in 3, 2, 1. Once again, if game volume is deafening or way too low, let me know. Nyri is behind the screen. Oh my goodness, thank you. Fixed.
Ordinarily, I'm a little bit difficult to contain, as it were, but this time,
Nyri has been boosted.
How's that?
Corp. So, Touhou Kishinjo, Eastern Castle of Shiny Needles, double dealing character. F Zoe is saying sounds okay. Game music might be a little quiet. Poking it up ever so slightly.
Yeah, shiny needles. The characters, that is what they say.
Not mountain, castle. Let's see. So, I've mentioned before that for one of the previous games, there is a strong focus on we give you a huge amount of bombs and resources, and you're going to need all of them. I think I said that for UFO. This is the same thing, but even further. Emerald level, easy mode, for those bad at shooting games and for rehabilitation. Aquamarine level, a relatively easy difficulty recommended for all ages. Ruby level, hard mode, a pretty hard difficulty recommended for maniacs. Hope Diamond level, the cursed difficulty, lunatic mode. So, there are 6 total options for player characters in the form of 3 characters and 2 variants for each of them. Mysterious Flying Shrine Maiden, Reimu Hakurei. Her purification rod suddenly started acting on its own. When it spotted a yokai, it leapt out of her hands to drive them away. However, that was convenient for the Shrine Maiden, so she left it be. On one such day, she heard that the yokai at the Misty Lake were running wild. They were normally supposed to be quiet and peaceful, and yet, this was, without the doubt, the beginning of an incident. And then, as you might expect, ordinary magician, Marisa Kirisame. It seemed that the yokai at Misty Lake were running wild. She scrambled to exterminate them before the Shrine Maiden took action. But at that time, her mini Hakuro was acting strangely. It started reacting to yokai, shooting fire at them on its own. But she didn't bother to repair it and let it be. It had more firepower than before, which was appealing in and of itself. You can see her holding the mini Hakuro there, and that is her weapon that allows her to fire the super laser beam that she is most famous for. Love sign Master Spark. And then, Maid of the Scarlet Devil, Sakaye Izuyoi. Though usually quiet, the Misty Lake was in an uproar. She could see it even from the Scarlet Devil mansion, which stood on a bank of the lake. She figured it would blow over quickly and left it alone, but that plan didn't work. It seemed that the lake wasn't the only place the yokai were making a mess. With her newly acquired bewitched sword in hand, she set off to investigate. She didn't exactly know where she had obtained it, though. So, Sakuya. Sakuya is a character that has appeared in numerous fighting games and first appeared in a game that was prior to what we played. Actually, I'm going to do one more volume adjustment. I just realized I can do a certain thing here. I'll poke this down and poke this up. There. Now it's quieter on my end and should be a decently equivalent volume on your end. Okay. So, Sakuya first appeared as the 5th stage boss of Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, which I believe was the first Windows Touhou game. And as I mentioned, there are 2 variants of each of these characters, and the choice is, do you bring your cursed item or not? So, Reimu's purification rod seems to be acting on its own and flying off on its own in order to beat up yokai on her behalf. The mini Hakuro seems to be producing fire and particularly angry, and a silver dagger is Sakuya's. She has time powers, that is correct. Sakuya has time powers. We will be playing as Reimu with Bewitched Weapon, as I feel that seems most appropriate for the storyline of the game, and just, it's kind of an interesting weapon setup that I like to use. And now, we talk about the gameplay here. The item get borderline remains, but this time, if you use the item get borderline in order to pick up 20 items at once, you will receive a bomb fragment. If you receive 5 bomb fragments in this way, instead of receiving a bomb fragment, you'll receive a life fragment. 3 life fragments equals 1 life, 8 bomb fragments equals a bomb. If you collect 80 items, I think, enough for it to say 2.0 in the item bonus collection, then you will receive a life fragment regardless of how many bomb fragments. And these 2 numbers are separate, so you cannot interrupt or otherwise change the pace at which you get bombs the easier way. With all of that out of the way, let's begin, shall we? You ready, Nyri?
Yes. Yes.
So as you can see, it says no bonus, and no bonus. You saw nothing. I kind of wanted to restart anyway, because I forgot that I want to wait a bit for attacking these. That way a bunch of them appear. And then we'll collect all of it. And that gets us a bomb fragment, as you saw.
Here's a freshwater prose, water nymph.
But yes, the game heavily encourages you to wander toward the top of the screen to collect bomb fragments. And in addition, if you have too many bombs and you die, you are punished by having many of those bombs removed. And if you have no bombs when you die, you are rewarded by being given 2 bombs. So, once again, this is a game that heavily encourages you to bomb the hell out of everything. We are about to meet our first mid-boss, who is a very famous character that we will be meeting for the first time on the series. I looked up pronunciation on her name because there is a bit of disagreement on what it should be. So, would you like to meet Chiruno or Cerno? She is the strongest of the fairies. And because she is the strongest of the fairies, she is almost a threat. Almost. She's also an idiot. Like, canonically. In one of the manuals, it calls her an idiot. She also appeared first in Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, the first Windows game. She was the first stage boss of that game. Or, second stage? Second stage. She is associated with the number 9, once again, due to the manual calling her an idiot. It had labels of various game elements on screen, and then hovering over her was the label 9, idiot. I don't remember there being yokai that run amok in this kind of lake. You there! You're that famous shrine maiden, aren't you? Mermaid living in fresh water. Wakasagi Hime. A mermaid? Oh wait, it's just a small fry. It's been so many eons since anyone last took us seriously. It's about time for all of us yokai to flourish. Wakasagi Hime. So, when we enter focus mode, our bewitched purification staff will fly and spin over our enemies. But if you look carefully, it kind of... Oh, spell card name.
Just sign tail fin slap.
If you look carefully, though, as it hovers over the boss, it'll start to drift off of them and start hitting them with the extremity of the weapon, as opposed to staying over the top of them. This does actually affect the rate of damage that it deals, and so if you want to maximize damage of this particular weapon, you do want to pull it back and then throw it directly over them again.
Scale sign, scale wave. Yes, Zoe. Gohei, also known as Heisoku or Bontan. These are used today for purification. Historically, they could also be used as a vessel for the gods. They also blur the boundaries between between a couple of the different faiths, because this is something that's also in Shugendo, which is heavily syncretized. Which means, hey, we're in the syncretism episode again, folks.
And here I thought mermaids were a quiet sort of yokai. Something's definitely going on. This purification rod is worrying me a bit too. And yes, Conley is pointing out cool guitar. There is a lot of, like, electric guitar sounds in this game. Like, this is kind of a departure musically for Zun to some degree.
We do need to talk about Shugendo, although my wise-ass thought of podcasting while hanging upside down off a cliff in Yamagata Prefecture probably is not recommended.
Canal of Willows. Severed head under the willows. Flying head. And so you'll see me frequently going to the top of the screen in order to collect items, and I'm trying to get exactly as many as is needed to get a bomb fragment, which happens to be exactly 20 power-ups. A mysterious boss appears. A very minor thing, but still notable. Her boss name doesn't appear until we know it.
White sign, flying head.
Spooky. Off she goes. And we still don't know her name. As for the bomb, for this particular loadout, it's pretty satisfying. You'll notice my character actually slightly swung back and forth. That is automatic. That is just my purification rod taking full control, dragging me along. Thwack, thwack, thwack.
To be clear, hanging upside down off of a cliff is a Japanese ascetic custom. This is part of their rituals. This is why I bring it up. This is Shugendo is the tradition, particularly in the Tohoku region, although not exclusively. And you can still see people today who do that kind of training, but of course, this is not for everyone.
Sounds pretty intense.
Oh yeah, there's actually a really good book about it called The Catalpa Bow, which I highly recommend, because it was the first time I read a work that was studying Japanese religious tradition that wasn't like dissecting it, like it actually showed respect, as well as being, a good analysis. But it is very intense, but also it is in the specific, it's intense in a way that is supposed to simulate birth, death, and rebirth throughout the process. Shugendo has no chill, Omyodo stole it all. Yes, that's right. But I say all of this also just to further offer context specifically to the idea of the wand flying out ahead. Like that is very much well, you've got a combination of the Shugendo side over there, sort of the wand as its own vessel, but also you've got a little bit of the Omyodo because the wand is behaving like a Shikigami, is it not? So I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah, kinda. I guess so, isn't it? Yokai are rampaging this close to the human village? This must be a full-blown incident. You showed up quick. Have you come to exterminate me? The Rokubi horror, Sekibanki. Hey, thanks for coming right to me and saving me the trouble. I'll clean this up quickly. It's true, then. If we stay docile, humans get arrogant. Just a weakling trying to sound cool, aren't you? How dare you, a powerless human. I'll make you have nightmares every time you see a head. I assume she means...
Yeah, that's...
I assume she means severed head, but...
That's Rokubi for you.
Should I pause for an explanation, or...?
I mean, it's basically what we're seeing on screen right now. This neck sign, close eye shot. It's basically what we're seeing on screen right now. A yokai that can either separate their head or can sort of extend their head on a long appendage.
Yep.
That's basically what we're seeing.
This character kind of conflates and or mixes the idea of a Dullahan and a... What was the pronunciation?
Rokurokubi.
Rokurokubi. Mixes the two concepts because...
Flying head, multiplicative head.
Love to bomb that Baron because each of the heads I hit damages.
Flying head, Dullahan Knight.
The bullet patterns themselves are reminiscent of the long neck effect, while several references to Dullahan are made, so it sort of conflicts the two to some degree. What's with you? You're actually strong! Yokai extermination is my specialty. Wait, could you be... That's right, didn't you see my purification rod? Excuse me. Bamboo Forest of the Full Moon is the name of the song. So see, as I got a bonus 2.0, I received a heart fragment. Beast Yokai of the 15th Night, Metamorphose. Ooh. Missed a bomb fragment. Oh well. Once again, kind of heavy, distorted guitar in this game. Another mystery boss. Ooh, that got a little spicy, right? Oh. I'm glad she didn't have a hitbox there, because that absolutely wouldn't have been a kill if she was able to hit me directly. Almost got boss kicked again. Look at how many lives I have already. You've come to exterminate me, yes? Lots of yokai coming out to get beat up today. It's like they all crave extermination. Is that how you see it? The Bamboo Forest Loop Garu, Kagero Imazumi. Well, maybe they're just a little happy to be exterminated. Happy? Even if you declare yourself to be some yokai exterminating professional, you haven't always fought independently acting yokai like us. Well, there's no end to those. Better to just stick to the ones who cause trouble. As much as I'd like to shoot first and ask later. Well, if you want to fight me, I guess I'll have to be trouble. I don't show any mercy to rampaging yokai. What a pity. And on a night with such a beautiful full moon. Several folks in chat have already picked up what the game's putting down here.
Transformation, triangle fact.
We've got a werewolf.
This is the second time I encounter a werewolf today. Roar, strange roar. Yes, Zoe, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Whoa.
Werewolves are indeed a mostly European creature. Wolf sign starring house. Does Japan have any werewolf equivalents? Well, I mean, there's. I feel like there might be some, but this is more in the realm of this gets into the realm of actually something that I translated like must be 2 years ago now. Goodness, but bear in mind that there are many kinds of yokai that are formerly human and something went way off kilter and they can change form or they have changed form irrevocably. You might have beings that have the form of like somebody's dead wife. Maybe used to be the dead wife and through resentment or neglect is now also a fox. There's there's all kinds of these beings, but the thing I translated was oddly enough a Pokemon leak. If you remember the Typhlosion stuff from a couple of years ago, where they were like, Typhlosion is kidnapping children, and it was just this lore document that the Pokemon developers hadn't even, yeah, hadn't even made official. Um, it was drawing from uh, beings like this that appear in primarily in the Touhou Monogatari, Touhou, one of the locales in Iwate Prefecture, and yeah, I actually did a whole historical analysis of the uh, Typhlosion business. I will drop a link in the chat, but basically, beings that have a human form and a yokai form. That is a thing that happens in Japanese folklore. Absolutely.
From my understanding, like, this is going to be a little bit just hearsay more than anything else, but wasn't a lot of it just like almost just this is a mythology story except replace the name of these yokai with the name of these Pokemon? Like,
Yeah,
it was very much
yeah,
it was very much so just like amateurish like mind mapping, sketching out stuff. And from my understanding, it was more or less just here are some
yeah,
existing tales, but what if it was
yeah,
Typhlosion instead?
yeah. That's basically what they did, and Western observers who didn't understand the cultural context sort of went, "Oh my goodness, Pokemon are taking our babies," and didn't stop to think like the actual folk tales get way weirder and darker than this.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously it wasn't just Typhlosion. There was like a couple hundred entries in that lore dump. But Typhlosion is the one that I translated. Um,
Yeah, I just meant
and
commonly I just meant broadly. Like just I used Typhlosion just for the that whole leak thing. Yeah.
there was also a story, and I didn't translate this one, but it's a story about an Ursa ring that I think was based on Ainu folklore and like a bunch of other ones that had similar themes. But Tono Monogatari, Tono Monogatari is the source that I was able to sort of tease out that they were most significantly drawing from. And if you want to read Tono Monogatari, this is a work that I highly recommend if you want to look at a hyper-local example of Japanese folklore and get a sense of the world that these people at the times that these stories were collected inhabited, because the idea of there being a clear delineation between the human world, like the mundane world, and the supernatural world was a lot more blurry at the time. So you get the sense of that in reading these. But yeah, that's that.
Hmm. Okay. We've just defeated a werewolf. I was wondering what yokai you were. A werewolf girl, huh? I lost even under a full moon. Just a simple beast. Danmaku isn't power alone. You have to use your head, too. Ugh, now my purification rod stinks of animals. You're so mean. I didn't even want to step outside today, much less fight. Why not, even though it's a full moon? Aren't you a werewolf? Well, it's because I get so hairy. I see. Oh. Some flashing lights in this level. It's pretty mild, but warning nonetheless.
Dissonance amidst the storm. Stormy Discord. I've been on a few stormy Discords in my time.
Likewise. Bomb everything! Don't know how to deal with the pattern? Bomb it. Out of bombs? Press the bomb button to no avail and die. Then get 3 bombs.
Yes, this is Zoe's right. This has been a really good way of catching up, getting up to speed with what the fuss is about.
A musician. With unique bullet patterns. Bullet types.
There's a trombonist with a gig joke here.
Tasty music. As Kippers is wont to say. Ah, yes, this part. So, this part I have a particular tactic. You can rapidly earn bombs during this segment. Or fragments, whatever you want to call it. By just back and forth like that. Oh my god, I've maxed out on lives. What's with this eerie storm? There must be some kind of enemy here. My experience tells me so. Found you! Tsukomugami of an aged Biwa, Ben Tsukomu.
I was just thinking this!
Someone who looks like they could be my opponent. See? A yokai. By all means, I'll take you on. Hey, hold on, I found her first. That's dirty coming in and stealing her from me, big sis. Why not? I saw you battle earlier, too. Your lackluster music just won't work. Not for defeating this Tsukomagami user. Tsukomagami user? Don't treat me like a yokai. I exterminate yokai like you. I thought you were one of us for sure, though. Whatever, I'll leave this to you, sister. Later! Hey, wait. Now stop staring into space. In this world of social upheaval where everything is turned on its head, who is the strongest tool? We'll decide that here and now.
Okay, so, Kipper's Colony 3, Gipper's colon 3. You asked that. My head went to, well, there's a yokai that's the spirit of a neglected biwa, and then what should appear on the screen?
But a neglected biwa.
But a neglected biwa. She said while occupying a study that currently has a neglected biwa in it. One of my partners very generously bought for me a secondhand biwa, but this is a biwa that had been severely neglected, and I am currently working with my chisels and hammers very, very slowly to remove the soundboard from the body so that I can start to repair it. My heart is breaking the whole time I'm working with this instrument, but I need to be able to remove that soundboard so that we can start to put it back together, because a neglected biwa becomes a yokai that does terrible things. And wouldn't you know it, we're fighting one right now.
Conley providing some important info that I don't think I actually realized, because I played this game in Japanese originally, so I didn't have a translation, and B, it's been a long time. If you choose option B with your character, you don't fight Ben. You fight her sister. So if you don't have the Tsukomogami with you, or at least what she claims to be a Tsukomogami, then you fight the other sister. Let's continue. That was a bad place to be.
Kyoku, sounds of Jitavana's bell. Once again, we're getting into Buddhism. The sound of the Gion temple bells echoes the impermanence of all things. The color of the Sala flowers makes clear all who prosper must wither. They are like a dream on a spring night. Even the proud do not endure, they are like dust before the wind. Vengeful spirit, Hoichi the Ears, Niminashi Hoichi. Or Nimikire Hoichi. The name of a very common, or very old rather, Knoll play, and also biwa ballad.
Music rules, by the way.
Stick biwa riff. So anyway, Saru hodo ni.
So,
a lot. Yes.
You may have noticed that this game is really hard at this point. I am bombing a lot. This game is brutal. I hope I survive.
Music sign, wicked musical score. Oh, so we are getting a sick biwa riff. So some of you may be familiar with the opening of Beowulf going what, and that is sometimes nowadays translated as bruh. A lot of biwa ballads, not all of them, but a lot of biwa ballads begin with saruhodo ni, which is classical Japanese for so anyway.
Alright.
So anyway, there I was. Fine, I give.
I admit defeat. Wait. What do you mean by world of social upheaval? Huh? I mean, all the other tools like me have gained power. We've been docile before, but now is our era. Given your presence in the storm, you have your eyes on it too, don't you? On what? That inverted castle floating in the sky. There's power leaking out from there, you see. Thanks to the direction, I guess. The shiny needle.
So anyway, I started blasting.
The shiny needle castle sinking in the air. That's the name of the song. Cool visuals for the background of this level.
So anyway, fish.
Inside the inverted sky castle, world entirely inverted, reverse ideology.
Ideology. Had to do the Slavoj Žižek.
And so forth.
And so forth. Ideology is this curving laser, and we are all shaped to it.
Curving lasers. We might be coming up on something even more sinful than curving lasers, depending on who you ask. I think it is so incredibly audacious that I just find it funny. Thanks for the follow. Beep. Whoa. Bullets that boost and then slow down again.
Is heat sign reverse needle attack?
Go. Beep. Okay. Nothing proves to you how much your brain is fading in the late hours of the night, like trying to practice for this game and spending 3 continues to get here. And going like, oh my god, I am so washed. And then, when the day comes, getting here with almost full lives in hand. Like, okay. I cannot play this game tired. Message received. What? Who are you? This is no place for humans like you. Take your leave at once. Oh, well, in that case, what, you really expect me to leave? What's the big idea of building a castle in the sky? Oh, I see. A purification rod. Counterattacking Amanojaku. Seija Kijin. Looks like it has a mind of its own. So that means that led you here, does it? What? This is a problem. The price for that may be too big. Guess the world won't be turned on its head so easy. Hey, are you really planning a social upheaval? Indeed. Soon the mighty will lose their power, and the weak will rule the world. I'm stunned. I didn't think any yokai would do something so fruitless. Fruitless, you say? None of you understand how much we, the weak, have been oppressed. So, in this inverted castle where everything is overturned, I'll give you a taste of this earnest frustration. Are you ready for the worst thing since curved lasers? I hope you are. Once again, I find this mechanic so incredibly audacious that's just funny.
First design, sign, Danmaku through the looking glass.
My
what?
controls are left, right, inverted now.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Sign this side down.
Left and right works normal, but up and down is reversed. Because, you know, the screen's flipped. The pure audacity of it. I can only respect it. Such a mean boss.
Reverse bow, dream bow of heaven and earth.
Anything to say about the species, by the way?
Amanojaku?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanojaku, as Conley says, are among the biggest assholes out of all Oni. Also, Amanojaku, interestingly, is written, the sparrows, like the kanji, the way it's written in kanji is literally the sparrows of heaven. And there's a recent anime that is actually about an Amanojaku. I think it's called The Amanojaku I Love to Hate. And it is unusual in that it is a rare case of an anime that is set in the Touhou region. So I fully intend to watch it when I am able to. But yes, this is in fact a variety of Oni. You also see Amanojaku in Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Amanojaku is the companion you get like relatively early in the game. Like, yeah, I'm totally not gonna eat you. I'm following you just because I want to, you know. So yeah.
If you'll excuse my like simplistic and kind of incorrect terminology here, they try and convince or tempt humans to perform evil or sinful acts, if I remember correctly, from what I read.
Yeah, it's the devil on your shoulder, essentially. Turnabout reverse hierarchy. Oh, god damn it!
Hey, how about if we did that while you're dodging a bullet pattern? How would that feel? The trick is to just commit to a movement and stick to it as you become unable to look at the screen. What the heck? Was it too soon? Is that how you plan to turn society on its head? I've beaten many yokai much more powerful than you. Not yet. We're not giving up yet. As long as we have the treasure, we can become as strong as we like. If we can ignore a few consequences. Hey, wait. Just gonna run away? That's telling of a yokai who's all talk. In fact, I think it's more that she's leading me? Okay. If I fail the one credit clear at this point, then come on. Entering the final area with maximum lives is really... Shiny Needle Castle Tower, the small one's big ambition. Little Princess. I pressed bomb. Just, you know, I didn't have any left. But hey, good instinct. Because this game has such a heavy focus on using bombs as much as possible to be able to advance well, this game is impossible for quick viewer Daedalus 1134. A coward who never bombs in Touhou games. I hate this pattern so much. Yeah, I'm bombing it twice. This pattern sucks that bad. Looks like dawn is broken. Now the stage is set for battle. Come out, come out! Threat to Gensukyo's peace! Who's there? Oh, huh. It's the Hakure Maiden. Huh? I see that Purification Rod has received the treasure's power. Does that mean you come to ally with me? Huh? Ally with who? Hooray! The Shrine Maiden's support. I'll be able to turn Gensokyo upside down with no problem. So you're plotting a social upheaval then? You know, I wouldn't go along with anything like that, right? Descendant of the Inklings. Sakuna.
This is like Sukuna Hikona. Yeah. Noted Kami. Want to make sure I'm spelling the name right.
Shinmyo Maru.
Yeah.
Thank you for typing that out so I can actually read it.
Sukuna Hikona. Let me.
Gotta do a bit of quick research here.
No, I just wanted to get the kanji right. Because with Kami, some Kami are old enough that the spelling wasn't quite like standardized when the names were first written down. So you get like 3 or 4 different spellings where the kanji are assigned for sound value. For those of you who know Japanese, the term is ateji. And ateji so this crowd might not know Monty Python, but there was a bit in Monty Python called Raymond Luxury Yacht, where a guy with an outrageous prop nose was saying that his name was spelled Raymond Luxury Yacht, but it was pronounced this whole other thing, pronounced throat wobbler mangrove. Ateji are when you choose the kanji basically with that logic. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was getting the right one, where if people were going to Google it, they could find the right thing. But yeah, Sukuna Hikona, one of the gods, frequently depicted as a very small person. Inspiration for Isun and Okami, although Isun is also coming from Isunboshi, which is a famous folktale about a very small boy who goes and defeats an island of Oni. But
with a needle, right?
With a needle, in fact. A needle is a sword, yeah.
Some sort of silver shiny needle, maybe like the one that this character is holding.
Indeed. Once again, we come full circle.
All right. Shall I continue?
Yes.
Glad that landed well for y'all. F Zoe Blackheart especially going, wait a second. In the chat. Say that name 10 times fast. I don't think I can. I don't want to embarrass myself that much.
What? Shinmyomaru?
Shinmyomaru. Yeah, what? Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Tools are speechless, worked hard until they're falling apart. People are just grateful for their everyday work, and when they break, they're honorably retired. But only the powerful would think that's something satisfactory. Huh? Well, your tool is happy now, isn't it? I don't even need to ask you as you use it with glee. That's, well, now, create a world with me where weakling tools can laugh together. But there's no way I'd ally with someone undermining the social order. Someone like you, who was born into power, wouldn't know the joy of finally obtaining it. However, if you look at your purification rod, you can see that you feel hesitation. I hold the power of dreams in my hand. This is our treasure, the Miracle Mallet. Miracle Mallet? Could that really be... I can see a future where you learn the plight of the weak and join me. Now, treasure, grant the power of dreams to these wordless tools. A new era of Tsukomugami struggles to be born.
Small barrage, an Inchling's path. Isunboshi is frequently translated as Little Inchling. Yep, Uchiden no Kozuchi. I think the same hammer that Daikokten-sama wields.
Anything to say about a bowl? There's lots of imagery.
A bowl? I think was it? I'm drawing a blank here, but I feel like that Isunboshi may have used the bowl, like, as a raft. There you go, yeah, Zoe confirms. It's the boat he used to get to Oni Island. Mallet, grow bigger.
Come on.
There we go. Rice bowl for a boat.
Ah. Hate this pattern so much. Or no, not this one. One coming up in a bit. Though this one also is rather unpleasant.
Bewitched sword, shining needle sword.
Phew. Eek. Out of bombs, out of bombs, out of bombs. I am out of bombs. I just tried to bomb there and it didn't work. Oh.
Mallet, you grow bigger.
It's true, that mallet can make us grow bigger.
One might say, stop hammer time.
This is a survival pattern, by the way. We are thankfully allowed to use a bomb, but goodness gracious, this pattern.
In Soviet Gensokyo, enemy enlarge you!
Yeah, okay.
Attack on Oh, very clever. Very, very clever.
Is it?
I mean, it's an Attack on Titan reference, isn't it?
I don't know. I think if you're playing on hard difficulty or above, this pattern is actually named Itsunboshi's Barrier, or Shield, or something like that. This game actually has different names for the patterns.
So it is, in fact, an Attack on Titan reference.
Hmm.
Top of my thumb 7.
Final pattern. Very unique for the Touhou games. Notice what happened when I used my bomb there. This is the final boss and this is the final pattern. What normally happens when I use a bomb on those? Normally the boss becomes immortal. Not here. In any case, 3 lives to spare. Never trust how skilled you are at Touhou games at midnight. I thought I was cooked. The Hakure Shrine. A shrine on the east edge of Gensokyo. Reimu. Looks like my purification rod's finally calming down. Actually, Marissa, my mini Hakuro is going nuts too. Didn't know you were having the same kind of problem. And who knew it was the power of the Miracle Mallet. Apparently the plan was only to make herself strong and upset the social order. The consequence of which was giving off magical power which made creatures vicious.
I mean, on this channel?
Yeah. Marissa. So the mallet's effect caused peaceful yokai to rampage and chose to move on their own. Well, no wonder. Thank you, Lady Havoc. I wonder what. When I held my mini Hakuro, I felt kinda gloomy. I felt like torch and stuff, didn't matter what. That must have been an effect of the magic. Well, I didn't have any thoughts like that with my rod. Really? Well, I think that might have just been you, Marissa. So what happened to those yokai? What was it? Ishinboshi and an Amanojaku? Well, about that. I don't know where the Amanojaku went, but... Shinmyomaru. Whoa! It's shaking! Is it an earthquake? Did I wake you? Eh? You're telling me she's the one behind the incident? She used too much of the mallet's power, so she won't be able to get big for a while. Yeah, that's right. The blowback was worse than I thought. Oh, huh. Still, kind of cruel treating her like a bug, don't you think? Not at all. She has a cage to protect her from other bugs and animals. Thanks! You're so considerate. All the power stored in the inchling was released, making her small again. She'll be that way for a while. The miracle mallet will have to recollect its power later. It's thought the tools and weak yokai will gradually lose their power. Until then, Shinmyomaru will be tiny as inchlings are known to be. Did Reimu care for her because she felt guilty toward weaklings? Then again, looking at such a little yokai, it's hard to see her as the mastermind of a social upheaval. Ending number 1. Isunboshi in an insect cage. All clear. Congratulations. You're cool. Meet the newest resident of the Hakurei Shrine. Correct. Touhou Project 14th Edition, 14th Project Shrine Maiden. Eastern Castle of Shiny Needles, double-dealing character. Heisei 25, 8th month, August 2013. Games are made by people, and in this case made by like 2 or 3. Integral developer, program, graphic, music, etc. Zun. Height 173 centimeters. Special thanks, Kisan, the sales boys and girls and all cute organizers, event staff, and lastly, you. Thanks for playing all the way through. However, keep going just a little extra bit more. Thank you for playing. As per usual, we will be going over to the extra stage, and dubious if I can complete it, but I will give it my best. Moo. Moo. So, extra start. Magnesium level, extra mode, Dazzling Danmaku. I have already used the cheat code, so I have the extra stage unlocked with every character and every variant, but nonetheless, I will be doing the same weapon. Still kind of giggling at you going gaga over the Tanuki girl. Look. Let's begin. Thunderclouds of magical power. That is not how you start this level, evidently. So, I'll be making a few attempts at this. And then afterwards we will start up and look a little bit at Lunatic difficulty as an excuse to check out the other characters and weapons. I could not believe what Tatsuiwa's first name translated to. That caught me so off guard. Skies above Gensokyo, stormy. A beat resounding against the world. Drum up resistance.
Ah! Dust my ears deceive me. Are we about to run into Fujin-sama and Raijin-sama, I perchance?
It's never quite that simple with these games, is it?
I mean, except when it is.
Fair. Usually Zun puts his own weird twist on how things should go. But yes, it is a stormy night and drum up resistance. But keeping in the theme with the game, did it really just be a thunder god? Sorry, but we have to stop you here. Let the soul repose show begin. Tsukumo sisters.
Soul repose show, Ire-shiki, I guess. Ire is the term for ritual for pacifying of spirits. And it's a thing where you can offer even things like music. So, it makes sense. It would be nice to meet the nicest Oni bros in all the other world. Yeah. String music, storm ensemble. This is taking me back a little bit. Not to anything specifically Japanese history related, but string music, Joruri world. But when I was very small, I was afraid of thunder and lightning, of course, as children often are. And my father, who is a pastor in the Armenian Protestant Church and was very spiritual about these sorts of natural phenomenon, suggested that I think of thunder and lightning as the kettle drums in God's symphony. And, now I'm a Shintoist for the past 20 years, and, well, we have Fujin-sama and Raijin-sama.
I don't believe that you've actually stated what those are yet.
Fujin-sama and Raijin-sama. Fujin-sama is the god of winds, carries around the wind in a bag, usually held over his shoulders. Raijin-sama is the god of thunder and has this ring of drums around him. If you remember, if those of you who've been on my stream, if you remember me playing Katamari Damashi, you might remember in the really, really big levels where you can roll up, like, there's these gods in the clouds. They're there. That's them. So, yeah, thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening.
That's the way of it.
And, Raijin apparently has a son named Raitaro, which I did not know. But turns out Fujin-sama and Raijin-sama are the brothers of Susanoo, the famous god of storms.
If those instruments Tsukomagami from earlier are involved, surely it's a Tsukomagami? And an instrument? The Hakure's Shrine Maiden's finally here. You're too late now, though. I was right, an instrument's Tsukomagami. Finally got my intuitions back. But it's too bad. Now that the Miracle Mallet has been recovered, you'll go back to being a regular tool soon. Phantasmal percussionist Reiko Horikawa. What a dull-witted thing to say for a Shrine Maiden.
Okay, so Raiko is one of the other names for Raijin-sama, but not written like this. Ordinarily, Raiko is written like Lord Thunder, but this is written Raiko as in thundering drums.
Suitable.
Yeah.
Okay. Continuing. What a dull-witted thing to say for a Shrine Maiden. Even without the mallet's magic, I won't revert to a plain instrument. Eh? I noticed right away the Miracle Mallet was the source of my power. If I had just accepted that, I wouldn't have had true independence. So I had a thought. I'd discard the magic of the Miracle Mallet and replace it with a different one. I taught all the Tsukomagami how to do it. Way to switch your magic? How did Tools figure that one out? Tools would know better than anyone, because Tools work entirely on the magic of their users. So, should I test my new power on you? Now, drummer from the outside world, Let your primal beat echo through Gensiko.
Oh, PTXT, thank you. I'm glad to know you enjoy it.
First drum, Raging Temple Echo.
I think my favorite so far is the way that I got flashbanged by Prince Shotoku. Second drum, Vengeful Spirit, Aya no Tsuzumi. Yeah, the way I got flashbanged by Shotoku, but also the Soga? Really? Drums are war instruments, yes. Third drum, 3 strikes at midnight.
Got my positioning on that exactly backwards.
Death drum, land percuss.
Eek. Beep.
Fifth drum, Den Daiko.
Feels like it shouldn't be a hard pattern. Yeah.
Den Daiko. That's a type of drum that I know from the TV series Abarembo Shogun, where it was a prop in one of the key episodes. Little toy drum on a stick.
Oh, that thing. The one you spin?
Yeah, that's the one.
Those are cute. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
Curved beams are illegal. Well, in this world of social upheaval, curved beams are now the standard. I'll try not to reset repeatedly. In addition, though, not a perfect experience, but we can look at the other spell cards in the practice thing. Because in this game, you are not required to reach a spell card to be allowed to practice it. I think the survival pattern of this extra stage boss is really, really cool. And I want to show it off one way or another. The final pattern is also awesome. Sorry, but we'll have to stop you here. Let the soul repose show begin. Oh, so close. It's one of those patterns that just dazzles you, you know? It's just hard to follow. I used to have a position for this, too. It's kind of frustrating I forgot it. Like, I used to just have a pattern somewhere down there. I just loop back and forth on. Suffering, agony. I said I wouldn't reset, but is this really gonna... Is this one really gonna go anywhere? Two lives. Guess it will. One life, guess it won't.
Oh, monks, what is burning? Long answers only.
The midnight oil.
The midnight oil, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yowza.
Hurry, crap!
No, come on. I think it might be reset time.
Need to make more curry blocks, that reminds me.
Could experiment with another character, too. You know what? Actually, That's a great way to show off the other weapons. One attempt with each weapon. I think I might do that from now on as well.
Yes, I make my own curry blocks because I cannot have wheat, and the most commonly available Japanese curries are wheat-based. Now, that is not entirely the case. Koko Ichibanya actually has gluten-free curry. But I have found an excellent recipe for gluten-free Japanese-style curry blocks, and damned if it isn't close. Like, nearly spot on. Also, turns out the secret to making good curry roux is butter. But now that I've gotten that down, I've been able to make I regularly make large amounts of curry blocks, and I just put it in the water and make some Japanese rice, and I have my curry.
Weapon might be working better for me.
Also, curry and nikujaga are two examples of cuisine that entered the Japanese culinary tradition from the British Empire.
Ooh. How did that not hit me? Welcome to the Touhou post main game show of Moo makes sad, pathetic wet cat noises. Oh. Should we move on to the next weapon? We know why we're here. You're mean! Was this strange storm brought about by the Miracle Mallet too? What ominous magic power is this? The Hakure Shrine Maiden's finally here. Too late now, though. Too late? For what? I've gotten the independent magic I was after. No need for the Miracle Mallet anymore. What's that? No one can tie us down now. We're free. I'm curious what power that is, but it doesn't matter. You're causing trouble, so I'll punish you right here. So the rumors are true. The maiden just attacks yokai without question. And that also proves tools, like me, can be recognized as yokai. Now, drummer from the outside world, teach me the beat of battle. But yeah, feel free to give Nyri any questions you have during this sad wet cat period of the stream.
Poor slime.
That said, this pattern's a lot easier to do with this weapon because I can actually aim the damn thing. You want to destroy only the gold ones because those ones detonate at the bottom, whereas the other ones won't detonate if you don't break them. It's just, you know, Reimu's other pattern, you have zero control over where that thing flies. Sakuya. With weapon. That is... That is gimmicky. Enter focus mode in order to get homing knives that then fire at your opponent in a bit. And then the bomb is a safety barrier. That refunds you if you don't use it. So safety barrier, spent. That is borderline unplayable. At least in my mind. Goodness gracious. What about no curse dagger?
Gordon Ramsay.
That's rad. That's
See,
cool. Mood donkey.
See, now you got me picturing the Gordon Ramsay meme of holding a bread slice on either side of the head, like Moo holding Moo as Reimu holding a slice of bread to either side of a yokai's head. What are you? A yokai sandwich.
Conley has actually already drawn Rei Moo, by the way, so that's lovely.
Yes, quite lovely. I recall.
And you as Marissa.
Yes, my first fan art ever. I am flattered beyond words. Which is hella timing because I got my first fan fiction a few weeks prior.
Let's go.
Somebody apparently had listened to enough of my podcast that seeing the date 1868 made them immediately picture how I would introduce this totally unrelated to Japan topic that happened in 1868. And then I actually voiced a recording of what they wrote. It was a lot of fun.
So Sakuya's gimmick seems to largely be extremely high skill ceiling, extremely powerful. Like, for example, when I'm focused like this, note the pattern that the bullets are going. It's all straightforward. You are dealing all of your damage or none of it. Zero in between. You must stay under the boss or you are not making progress. Brutal. Sakuya A is easy mode. I tried messing with that and it was... I just tried to use that, and it was so incredibly gimmicky I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Who gave Marissa a flamethrower? It's bad enough that she has this laser. Another thing I'm getting out of this game is gimmicky weapons, for sure. Like, even that fairly typical Reimu A is still really kind of weird to control. But yes, the idea of Marissa with a flamethrower is fundamentally horrifying to me. I'm also doing a great job getting the bonuses with these other weapons, as you can tell.
I'd like to...
Go ahead. You first.
What item would we like to see become a Tsukumogami?
I've already met one.
Oh yeah. You sent me a picture. Yeah.
Blessed machinery. I hope to someday take care of it in whatever way I can remotely. It's a faraway place, but so I can't do as much with it directly, but I can help the institution that houses the Tsukumogami that I felt reverence to in other ways remotely.
Conley, are you saying what would we like to see become one? Like one that is not one now, but might become one in the future?
This might be a good build, or might be a good weapon. If I can do anything apart from Reimu A, it's going to be this one. We'll see.
I tell you, Conley, so the traditional definition of Tsukumogami tends, like, it's not hard and fast, but tends to be an object that reaches 99 years of age. Now, I am known in some circles for my love of a specific World War II era fighter aircraft, and I tell you, it would be nice to see the Era Cobra turn 99, and then go and visit some of the ones that are in museums. That's gonna happen pretty soon, too. But I would love to visit an Era Cobra that had awakened in that way. Well, the Spruce Goose, that's gonna be another one. That is a vehicle that is very much a character unto itself. Yeah. And yeah, that's right. You've got the mortar and pestle, right? Yeah, as far as Tsukumogami, like actual like stuff from Japan, I own a kimono from the Taisho era, which was 100 years ago, and I'd like another kimono that's newer because I feel so self-conscious wearing this Tsukumogami piece of clothing. But my family has a coffee grinder that belonged to my great-grandfather before the days of the Armenian genocide. So we're talking way back in the late 19th century. And so he managed to hold on to it through a genocide and 2 world wars. And then it passed into the possession of my grandmother, and now my uncle has it. I have been in its presence before. It is a humbling experience to be smelling coffee that's been ground in that.
6th drum, alternate sticking. A pretty easy pattern, all things considered. 7th drum, high-speed Tycho rocket. Noom. Noom.
I've had coffee from that grinder before, and it is an experience. It is an experience.
But yeah, the Tsukomigami I've seen was a vintage piece of 100-year-old telecommunications equipment. Still functional on a simulated network. The network it exists on is for the museum itself and nothing more, but they are able to simulate it as if it were a busy day. So you can hear it do its clicking, because the entire thing is making and breaking physical connections. Like, it's not computerized in any way. It is metal rods and tongues making physical metal contact. And so, seeing this gigantic object in motion, it was absolutely stunning. Zoe Blackheart, do you have your tonkas that are of that thing? 8th drum, Thunder God's Anger. If you have access to those, I'd love if you posted them. If you're willing, of course. Not on hand. I think I can pull them up as well.
There is a sword. An individual sword that I would like to see very much. For reasons that I know Zoe knows. It is regarded as the greatest Japanese sword ever made. Its name is Dojigiri, which means Slayer of Shitendoji, noted Oni Tyrant of Mount Oe. And, yeah, lives in a museum in Tokyo, and so you can in fact see it. But Dojigiri is the individual sword I would most like to see. And it's old enough that it was long since a Tsukumogami. Like, they were using that sword to fight and to quell Oni tyrants way back in the Heian era. So it's over 1,000 years old at this point.
I found it, by the way.
I always feel bad for the Muramasa blades having the reputation that they do, because that is, as I've said on my own stream many times, the result of Tokugawa shogunate propaganda. Yep. You know, the trope of the quote unquote evil Muramasa, like, no, they're not evil. The shogun had a problem with them.
The shogun kept having people killed by these swords because they were a common sword, and so they are an evil sword.
Exactly.
Because stop killing my guys.
It would be like saying that an AR-15 is inherently bloodthirsty because it keeps killing people. Like, yes, but also it's a very common weapon.
It's not uniquely superior or uniquely bloodthirsty in any way. It's just, yeah.
Exactly.
One moment though, please.
Mm-hmm.
These are a couple of tanka written by F. Zoe Blackheart regarding the Tsukomugami that we have both seen. Switchboard. Her age makes her live. Her service connected us. We bask in her might, hearing her babble a song in a language we can't know. Tanka, tour guides. The priests earn little, still the heat beats the cold back. The song sung strangely, and they show all the choir with no mouths singing proudly. I've put both of them in the chat. Switchboard is... yeah. Saying it was a magical experience. Spiritual experience, quite literally. I had mentioned that one of my absolute favorite survival patterns exists in this game. Blue Lady Show.
I mean, I could certainly appreciate a pattern by that name.
Polyrhythms via Danmaku. Here, let me go and... composer first, everything else second. Yeah, let me go and adjust one thing real quick. Music down and sound up so you can really tell what's happening here. First time I saw this pattern, I thought it was so incredibly clever, and I still love it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. But just the polyrhythms being made out of the bullet spawn noises is awesome. I love it so much. And the final pattern, Pristine Beat, which does a similar concept, although in a different way. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Then... dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Boom. Very cool. Just actually sending out echoing drum beats of bullets to drumming patterns that gradually get more and more intricate and thus more and more dangerous. But I think that covers most of everything. There's lunatic difficulty, of course, and there's... I'm honestly a little tempted to go back and highlight some of the older games that we skipped, perhaps. Now that we've met...
Is this in fact
Go ahead.
the newest one? Is this in fact the newest one?
Oh, not remotely. They've still got like 5 more. 5 more main lines, yeah. Also, Sega Kijin, I think it was. She has her own spin-off game that is kind of similar to in style to the photography games, Shoot the Bullet and Double Spoiler. It's called Impossible Spell Card, and the idea is you face nearly impossible bullet patterns. They are technically possible, but they're extremely, extremely difficult. But you have the ability to cheat. You can turn invisible, you can swap between sides of the screen, you can put down a doll that forces enemies to shoot at it. You can put up a barrier, like, it's using various tools at your disposal in order to cheat at otherwise almost impossible spell patterns. Hence, Impossible Spell Card. It's a very, very fun gimmick, and as someone who really loves extremely gimmicky offshoot versions of Touhou Project, that's one of the best ones in my opinion. In any case, I think that might do it. Is there any more stuff that we want to cover quickly before we move on?
I think I'm good. I think that about does it for me.
Sorry that I couldn't defeat Reiko for y'all, but Raiko. This game's tough. Blue Lady Show, I think that pattern is the furthest I have ever gotten, which is pretty good considering that's the second to last. But yeah, hard game. Gives you tons of resources. Tempts you into collecting even more resources by spending all your time at the top of the screen, and forces you to use them as much as physically possible. Gotta do Perfect Cherry Blossom. Yeah. Yeah, the Kipper's pointing out that the squiggly bullets there were, like, not rest... Were those rest notes? Was that the rest symbol? True difficulty will come in the next game. I think I remember which one that is, and that's certainly weird. But yes, if you want to, just speaking personally here, on the topic of Tsukomugami and telephone infrastructure, the museum that I visited that was far away from me that I had heard good things about despite not being particularly on the map is Connections up in Seattle. Connections Museum. They have a YouTube account, and on their YouTube account they have tons of really informative videos on vintage telecoms, along with a gorgeous and very interactive museum that allows you to operate a hotel switchboard and various other things like that. And they've got lots of informative videos, such as what happens if you leave your phone off the hook? Why does it do that beeping thing? For, phones that actually did have a hook. But yeah, open on Sundays, Connections Museum. It is... I've been to many very high-budget museums. The Connections Museum is my favorite of any museum I've ever been to. Just as a side note, So if you ever end up traveling up to Seattle for like PAX or something, as I frequently do, then try it out. If you happen to be there on Sunday. Also, go order a Dick's Deluxe from Dick's Drive-In. Very good burger. Anywho, let's see who can rate to, shall we? We've got a fellow slime playing Voices of the Void. Slime gets spooked by satellites. Shinarato. This is a fellow friendly slime. Tell him the other slime sent you. And yes, the classic joke, Conley. If someone tells you, upon visiting Seattle, that you should go eat a bag of dicks, they mean Dick's Drive-In, and it is genuinely good advice. Just Seattle things. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.